Okay, hello everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Depending on the time you are watching us from here, this is Bramble Learning Space, and we are introducing to us a new concept titled Bramble Talks. And I hope you're going to enjoy every moment we're going to be giving you on this space. So this afternoon, yeah, it's afternoon here. This afternoon, we are having our one of our beautiful catalysts from our learning space here, Miss Ajimi Sogbe Bolade. Okay, you are welcome to this space, ma'am. You can do us to say hi to our audience out there.
Good afternoon. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Bolade Ajimisogbe. I'm a catalyst at Bramble Learning Space.
Arikoki Village, Akinyele Government, Oyo State. Okay, so you can do well to check on us on www.bramblenetwork.org. So you find what we do there. But this afternoon, we have a very vital topic to discuss, and our guest is ready, prepared to answer all our questions. And I am actually trusting that at the end of those videos, you are going to learn a lot. Yeah, trust me, you're going to learn a lot. I am smiling, and this is how I will smile all through the video. So this afternoon, like I said, we'll be considering a topic which we titled "The Need for a Complete Education." The need for a complete education. So I guess so before we even go into what we are having today. So do you think that there is half education or there is a complete education? People out there are actually wanting to know probably there is a complete education or there is half education. So can you help us shed more light on that before we continue our questions? Yes.
Yeah, there is half education. Well, it's not as if our education system is supposed to be complete,
Okay.
but then the kind of education we are having presently in Nigeria, not only in Nigeria but most parts of the world, shows that we are not should I say exhibiting now. We are not
Okay.
practicing the complete education that we're supposed to practice
How?
because complete education is not just if we are going to have a complete education, then we should know that education should be carried out not only in the classroom. Like education is not all about the schooling that you know, we've been taught. We've been told that education, if you want to be educated, you go to school. When you finish your primary school, you go to secondary school, you do WAEC, do JAMB, go to university, and after that, you get a job. But no, what about people out there? We have a lot of successful people out there that are doing way better
Hmm.
than the people that attend school. Does that mean they are not educated? No. For you to know your right from your left and you know a lot of things that is going
Okay.
on in the society, that means to some extent you are educated.
Okay.
But although actually there are needs for you to go to school, but that's not the only basis for education.
Oh,
So
okay. Wow.
that's
Thank you so much for that. I even heard that Bill Gates did attend a general school, but then the successful man. Successful man is very, very successful. That means there can be half
he's doing
education
a lot
and
in the
there is
technology world.
in the technology world. And imagine technology actually in our normal sense, technology deals with schooling. If you're not able to read and write in our own sense, yes, if you're not able to read and write, you cannot operate a system. But then imagine someone who is not even step into the four walls of a classroom operating and becoming the sole proprietor for technology in the world. So thank you for that beautiful question. So that will give us clue on what we were about to discuss now, and how does it affect our education system, and how can we rectify the issues we are having in our society pertaining to our education system. So we discussed about the meaning that there is a complete education and there is a half education. So what do you think is education itself?
Okay. I attended a college of education, and we're told a lot of divination, Fakunwa, Oyekon, many divinations like that. But there is a particular divination that I picked and I really love so well,
Wow.
which is education is a process, is a lifelong learning process,
Hmm.
whereby it is not just to the aspect of schooling alone. Education is a lifelong learning process in all aspects, of our life. So from birth, when our parents give birth to us till we die, we keep educating ourselves. So that's my simple definition of
Wow, wow,
education.
that was brilliant. It's a lifelong process, lifelong process. That is, it is continuous. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. Yes, it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. So does that mean that um even after acquiring PhD, you can still continue?
Of course, you acquired PhD you know in school. Yeah, you have lecturer, you have been assigned to maybe projects, supervisor and all of that. But then you know education continue even outside school.
Mm,
I've been mentioning that school often and often.
okay,
Even outside school, education continue. We learned a lot of things without even going to school.
cool.
We learned a whole lot of things. For example, did anybody teach you how to wear your clothes? It's
Of
part of
course, no.
education.
Yeah,
Many of us, we didn't learn how to cook in school.
yeah,
When
yeah.
did they started introducing food and nutrition to our curriculum? And we know how to, in fact, most of our parents didn't go to school and they cook way better than the people that did food and
Of
nutrition
course,
in school.
homemade
So,
food.
and we keep learning how to cook daily. Yeah, so
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yes, that's true. And some things that we learn that we in normal sense we don't even count as education. So can we say that other things outside learning English, mathematics, um, our subject, our normal subject. So are they part of education? Like everything outside those things that we learn.
of course, they are part of
Okay.
education because sorry, let me quickly explain that they are part of education. That's what I'm saying. That education is not just about numeracy. I mean literacy and numeracy. No, education is not just about that. We have a lot of people that most of them they can't even read and write,
Yeah.
and they are doing better
School.
in the fashion school. They are doing better in the mechanical workshop, and they did study engineering.
Yes,
And
yes,
in
yes,
fact,
yes.
some of them they perform better than the
Better,
people that
better.
study
Yes, yes,
engineering.
yes,
So
yes. I
it's still
have
part of
I have
education.
one man in my area like that. So that man is very, very good. Even to the extent that he didn't attend a university, but after his secondary school, he's able to use computer to detect problems with cars.
And he's
And
doing good
he's a
in it.
millionaire today. And he didn't attend
Okay.
university like to study anything about mechanical engineering. He just put his knowledge of physics alone to work. So I think yeah, that's very
And
right.
actually, as important as those two are, the literacy and the numeracy, as important as they are, you know, it should not just the problem that we have in Nigeria is that we've limited our education
Hmm.
to that system, and
Yeah.
that is the problem that we are trying to solve.
Okay, okay. So our education has been limited only to numeracy and literacy. And you find out that a child who cannot read and write, the parents tend to complain like, why is my child not brilliant? Why is she or does he or she cannot read and write? That is the only aspect that parents tend to lay claim on. Like if my child can read and write, he is already is an educated person. Yes, an educated person. That an average Nigerian
Of
would
course.
think. Yes, would think that way. Yes, that's what we've been told. Like, okay. So thank you for the beautiful answers. So that will take us to our next question, which is, what do you think are the needs for a complete education? We have been talking about the classroom, learning outside classroom. So, and this is a total education. So, what do you think are the needs for a complete education? What do we really need to have a complete education?
Okay, to answer that, I'll bring us back to what we do in Bramble Learning Space.
Okay.
Bamboo Learning Space is no, that is why we don't call it a school. is an alternative education um organization. So it's an education platform, but we don't really practice the normal school setting that we have. So what we do is, we identify the skills
Hmm.
and the competency of our learners, and we develop them into it. We make them competent in in that particular field. So, you know well, most of them might have dream that, I want to be a
The doctor,
doctor,
the popular
I want to
profession.
be a politician. Yeah, as good as those things are, they can actually, they have a lot of skills. The funny thing is that, as children growing up, we are being created with this curiosity mindset,
Yeah.
wanting to know everything. And as a matter of fact, kids are very creative because their thinking is very
Very
pure.
bad.
Like they have a very pure thinking, so they don't have to mingle this with that. So for a complete education now, you know you don't limit a child. It's just like you're putting them in a box, which is not supposed to be so. Allow them to explore. Let them learn through their environment, learn through what they see around them. Allow them to ask questions. Don't shut them down when they ask questions
Hmm.
from you. And that's why we have most adults, should I say in Nigeria now, we have most adults that they don't know many things because
Yeah.
it's only what they teach them
Then that they
that they
know.
know.
You cannot
Because
explore
they
beyond.
don't allow them growing up. Using myself as an example, when I was growing up, I was this kind of very inquisitive person. I had any question anywhere.
Wow.
But then, as time goes on, whenever I'm asking question, maybe from someone, or whenever I'm talking, sometimes I talk alone. I'll just see something. Maybe I see a tree. I started talking to the tree. I think the tree is going to answer me back. But they started shouting at me. From shutting me down.
Oh
I
my
talk too
dear.
much. I ask questions too much. This
Oh
and
my
that,
goodness.
and I'm not fast. So they sum everything up. So that's why you are no fast like that. So,
Oh
you know,
God.
as I grew up, I started limiting those things, and
Hmm.
it actually
You
it
feel that.
it died.
Oh.
It died. It was, thank God for the environment and people that I met later. They were the one that, and now that were helping me to bring back that that
Nature.
nature back in me. So, for a complete education, don't allow your learner, because it's easy to bring up a child
Yes.
than to
Yes.
when
Yes.
trying to adjust an adult that is grown
Yes.
up already. So let's start with the child. Don't allow them to don't just put them in a box. Okay,
Hmm.
don't put them in a box. Allow them to explore as much as they can. Is it football that they want to play? Let them play it. Being a boy or a girl does not have to do with anything. Let them
Yeah.
play it.
Sure.
Is it that they want to, some of them like molding?
Mhm.
Let them mold
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
Sometimes they mold beautiful things that you too, you will, marvel at it. You marvel. And many things like that. Carpentry work. Sometimes when we see carpenters,
Yeah. We
we
think
laugh at them.
it's a poor job.
We laugh at them. But if we don't have them, look at this.
How do we
If we
make
don't
it?
have them, how do we make those things? If we don't have them, how do we roof our buildings?
Yeah.
So let them do these things. Let them explore themselves. So I think with that we can begin to explore, go into a complete
Complete
education.
education.
So
Yeah.
not limiting it to the
Hmm.
classroom alone.
Like Yoruba, you always said, a boycott. So we will not be having half education, half
Education,
baked
yes,
people,
now.
and that's why we see that most of the graduates that are coming out today, they can only defend what they
What
study,
they know.
even what they study in school. The practical aspect is out of it.
Yes,
But when you talk,
what they
what is,
tell you.
for instance, somebody has studied physics, what is physics? He can quote the different scholars' definition for you. But let him come and practice.
Put a radio down. Just put a radio down and they'll be
I
looking
love
at
you to
you.
go
Can
and
you
repair
imagine?
it. Like seriously, just
Can you
that.
imagine?
No, 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 no. So do we think that is it only teacher that this thing affects, or does it include the parents? Does the parents have, okay, like this example you cited, like in your own case, people started talking about why is it like this? Some people will look them as illiterate. because they're going
Though you're talking
because
alone.
they're talking alone. So does it really include the parents? The parents have um a role to play in giving a child a complete education, or is it only segmented to the school alone, or the parents are included?
The role of the parent is a very powerful role.
Okay.
It's a very powerful role. Imagine, okay, someone was telling me sometimes ago that the reason why we Bramble can be in a rural community is because the parents in the rural community does not know a lot.
Oh.
So what they were trying to say is, if you are to cite it in a city or a
City,
town,
yeah.
most parents will not allow, because they will be so concerned about,
But
do they have certificates, do they have this and
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, that's
So the
certificate.
role of a parent, the first thing is that, in fact, we have to sensitize the parents first,
Mm.
like let them know that no, this thing, let your children explore what they love to do. And I was reading a particular was is it autobiography now, of someone, I think yesterday. I don't know, maybe we know her, DDK, Debola Deji Funmi or something. So I was reading her biography, and she said something. She said she's okay, she's a thought leader,
Wow.
and she has a lot of awards from different places all over the world.
Mm.
She's a global influencer. So she was saying that it was her dad that actually instilled that
Wow.
art in her,
Wow.
that she loves talking a lot, and sometimes when she talks, people will be telling her to keep quiet, that she talks too much. So her daddy will tell her that don't stop her, that
Oh.
people will pay dollars just to
Oh.
hear her voice. And
Wow.
of course,
Wow.
today,
Wow. 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 Yeah.
imagine if she's in an environment where
Every
the father is the one that is saying keep
keep
quiet,
quiet. You
this
talk
and
too
that.
much.
By now, are we even going to know who is DDK? Are we going to know her? Is she going to have so much impact on us? So I think the parents, in fact, they are the major factor. They are the major factor, because if the parent does not approve something, there's nothing the teacher wants to do about it. So
Mm. Yes,
the
yes,
parents are the
yes.
major factor.
The parents are the major factor. Like you're citing about Bramble. That example was actually funny. Like if Bramble is to be started in the city,
Yes,
people will not attend because they were concerned about the certificate, first
exactly,
position,
exactly. And
second,
classes, and
and
classes, because we
classes.
don't have classes. They want to know what class
Is
is
it
my
convenient,
child.
conducive environment?
What class is my child? By now, you'll be asking. You're supposed to be in JSS1 by now, and you're saying
Yes.
I'm in cluster
I mean,
something. What's cluster?
yes, that's
Like,
because
what's
we don't
cluster?
use classes in Bramble. So
So,
Bramble we make use of clusters instead of classes, and anybody can be in any cluster depending on ability and your capacity. That's why we are using clusters. We are not using the normal classroom. So I know by now some parents will be like, what's happening to my child? Is it not progressing? What's happening?
exactly.
So our parents really, really need to be sensitized. I think Nigerian parents at large,
Exactly.
Nigerian parents at
Because
large.
even till now, thank God to COVID. Seriously, thank God because during COVID that some parents started practicing homeschooling, something that is
Yes,
very
yes,
common
very
in
common in
other
other
parts of the
countries.
world.
Oh,
In Nigeria, they are very afraid of this grade issue.
mm-hmm.
Will my child be able to stand beside other people
Yes,
outside?
and
So,
what they
but
are
when
doing in
COVID
school.
came, many parents, they don't have choice than to homeschool
Yes, that's very, very
their
and
children.
it's actually working very, very well.
Of course,
It's working for
of
them.
course.
It's working for them. It's working for them. Wow. I hope you have been enjoying our discussion, and we have learned one or two things today. So before we go today, so we want to talk about our government as a whole. We are talking about school, the parents, how they are able to give a child a complete education. So let's talk about the government. Do you think they have a particular role they need to play in giving a complete education, or after building school and employing teachers? Is that all?
I really don't know how to answer that question, because you just mentioned after building school. Actually, the government has a whole lot of role to play, because um facilities, resources, a child that loves to do carpentry work,
Mm.
what are the facilities that the child is going to use
Okay. Yeah.
to do those things? If peradventure, the child goes to school, they do all those things in the school,
Yeah.
and there's no facility to go about it.
I remember my secondary
A
school.
child that loves tailoring, that love fashion
Fashion.
stuff, and want to go into venture into tailoring work, and they don't have resources. Tailoring has a lot of
Love
resources,
resources.
whipping machine, many things like that. So if governments are building school, then they should provide
Yeah.
all the needed
Yes.
resources
Yes.
for the learning to take place.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that's
I remember my secondary. Sorry for cutting short. Then I think our building, we don't have windows. There's no door. There's no asbestos. We learn when it is after break, after past 12, everywhere, everywhere. You can't even stay. Sometimes you need to park our chairs outside to go and learn under the near, because I think, okay, our class, when I was LS1, there's a big tree beside the classroom, so you have to park our chairs outside under the tree to go and learn. So I was like, okay, government after employ, even some of the teachers, they are not complete. We don't have complete teachers. No, Nigerian public school, we don't have complete teachers. That's just it. You can see a teacher taking JS1. JSS is very common
yeah,
in math and English.
yes,
JSS1, JSS2, 3, 4, 5, SS3. And you wonder, like, how is this teacher coping? Teaching and learning can never be effective. Even learners, and you see that they tend to only know people that are doing well in their subject.
of course,
Yes, they tend to know them, and sometimes, and others might not know their subject, but then they have something else that they have in mind to do, but because there's not enough facilities for them to explore their world, so they tend to limit themselves in the four walls of classroom. Like, if I know it, I know it. If I know it, I don't know it.
yeah,
So I think the government should take if you are building schools, let it be a complete
exactly,
because
exactly,
it's like we have, even the classrooms are not enough.
yeah.
Classrooms are not enough.
I've been to some primary schools where primary one will be in this side, primary five will be in this side. Like they will just back each other, but they're in one
How,
classroom.
how, now imagine when they
They're in
are
one classroom.
reading my recitation. How did they do that?
So a teacher will be here, another teacher will be here,
Oh,
and that's how they go about it.
ah,
So
that's serious. So our government should look into giving our students a complete education. Like, if you are building a school, build a whole school where learners could have access to facilities to bring out the creativity in them. I see no reason why we should not have carpentry workshop in schools,
yeah,
secondary school, primary school.
yeah,
I see no reason why we shouldn't have what's it called? This nutrition
yeah.
kitchen,
Kitchen
complete
and
kitchen,
exhibition center,
exhibition centers. There should be all those things in our schools.
education.
Yes, vocation and that. So because education is not limited to four walls of a classroom. It is beyond the four wall of a classroom. So our government should play their role, and we as parents, if the parents actually see the need to support people that are coming up with alternative education, I think there will be a change.
Yeah,
Yes, there will be a change.
that's why the parents also should be sensitized.
Yes, they should be sensitized about a complete education. So, as we are rounding up our guest today, we round it up for us. Anything that she asked for us and what we need to learn and know about having a complete education. You're welcome as we round up today.
Okay. What we need to
Okay, so we thank you for saying things. So we have our guest to round up our topic for us today as we end our today's video. You're welcome, ma.
Okay, so as we have been saying since the need for a complete education. We said a lot. We said education need a lot of resources, excuse me, that allow the learners to bring out their creativity. So, and education should not just be limited to literacy and numeracy alone. They should be allowed to learn through the environment and things that are happening around them by observation, projects, practicals,
Yeah.
etc. like that. So that's just the summary of the
Wow.
need for a complete
Wow.
education.
Thank you very much. Our special thanks to um the Bramble Learning Space team as a whole. We really want to appreciate the director, Miss Odun Ayo, our camera woman, Miss Blessing, and our special guest, yes, Miss Bonadi Ajubitu. We are really glad to have you here.
Thank you.
You're
My
welcome. You're
pleasure.
welcome. You're welcome. All right. Thank you so much. So we'll see this time next month. So don't worry. We'll be bringing um you a new show every month. So it comes up the second week of every month. So stay tuned. Bye. We love you. Bramble. Learning through
Adventure.
adventure.